Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sireesha, and today we're going to be doing the final installment in our 7-part chakra series. Today's practice is going to focus on the crown chakra, or the Sahasrara chakra, which is the energetic center that sits right at the top of our heads. This chakra is responsible for connecting us to the universe around us, to that vital life energy that resides within all living beings. When we're attuned to this energy, when this chakra is in alignment and in balance, we're able to tap into a deeper level of consciousness and awareness. So, like with all of the chakras that we've been working with, the Sahasrara chakra has a color associated to it, and that color is violet. So if you'd like to add another element to your practice, you can grab a violet item, you can grab a violet piece of clothing and put that on, or bring something that helps you feel more connected to your inner awareness and your outer consciousness, and bring that into your practice space. For this practice, we're going to be working with our hamstrings. So if you've got a scarf or a strap, you can go ahead and grab that. Otherwise, you can use your hands and your arms instead. So we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll meet you on your mat. So we're going to start off our practice laying down. And if you've grabbed a scarf or a strap, just leave it kind of nearby so that when you're laying down, you can grab it easily. So you'll just come to lay down flat on your back here. And if laying down doesn't serve you, you can always come to a comfortable seated position instead. And you can keep your arms either on your body, your hands on your body, or you can have your arms long down by your sides. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale it out through your mouth. One more time like that. Take a deep inhale through your nose, then exhale it out through your mouth. And just start to feel the weight of your body rest down towards the ground below you. Bring your awareness to the base of your spine, to your tailbone and your seat. Feel that soften. And then start to draw your awareness up your spine to the space between your navel and your seat. And then to the space around your navel. And then to the space right under your rib cage. Then to your throat. And then to the space between your eyebrows. And just breathing here with that awareness traveling up and down this channel of your body, where the 6 other chakras sit. Becoming aware of this channel of energy that sits right in your midline. And slowly start to travel up that channel to the crown of your head. And if you'd like to, you can take your hands and place them right on the crown of your head, right at the top of your head, and maybe massage in a circle on that part of your scalp, that part of your crown. Inviting a sense of physical contact and connection to help spark the mental connection to that crown chakra, that energy center. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly release the hands back down, either to the body or long down by your sides. And we'll start to focus in on our mantra, our intention for our practice today. I am connected to the universe around me. That is our intention for our practice, to establish and remember that connection. We're not operating in a silo as individuals. We're all connected to each other, to the universe, and the energy around us. So you can repeat that to yourself aloud or in your head, but we'll say it 2 more times. I am connected to the universe around me. I am connected to the universe around me. And we'll seal this intention by taking a deep inhale through the nose and exhaling it out through the mouth. You might wiggle your fingers and toes here, move the head from side to side. And we're just gonna flip over onto the stomach. So taking your time with this transition, you'll just flip over like you're a pancake. And we'll make a little forehead pillow, stacking one hand on top of the other, and allow the forehead to rest down onto the tops of your thighs. Let your feet splay out. Feeling the pressure of your palms pressing into your third eye, into your forehead, that space between your eyebrows. You might move your head here from side to side, releasing tension, ironing out the wrinkles between your eyebrows here. And then we'll come back to neutral and just breathe into the spine, this gentle back bend. And you might send your breath to all the different parts of your spine, your low back, your middle back, and your upper back. Taking one more round of energy for the entire spine. And then we'll bring the hands to frame the chest, and we'll come into a cobra pose. So engage through the muscles of your legs, press into the tops of your feet, and on an inhale, lift up, drawing your shoulder blades together and down your back, ironing out the wrinkles in the back of your neck, taking your gaze just past the top edge of your mat or right at the top edge of your mat. Take an inhale here, a full exhale here, one more inhale here, exhale here. And we'll slowly lower all the way down to the mat. We'll flip back over onto the back again, just like a pancake on the griddle. And then we'll grab hold of that strap or scarf and just have it handy so that you can grab both ends of the scarf or the strap. And then we'll start to send the right knee towards the chest. And you can grab hold of your right shin, the top of your right shin, or the back of your right thigh if that feels more supported. And if your low back is feeling uncomfortable, you can always bend that left knee and plant the left sole of your foot down onto the mat. And you might rock your right knee here from side to side. You might roll out the ankle. And then we're going to start to extend that right leg up toward the ceiling. You can keep a generous bend in that right knee, and maybe you keep your hands at the back of your right thigh. Take your right thumb to your right hip crease and think about elongating your right hip crease as you send the right sole of your foot up toward the ceiling. Now you can choose to stay here if it's really difficult for you. Acknowledge that. Give yourself space and use your strap at the back of your thigh or your scarf at the back of your right thigh so that your shoulders, your elbows can all rest on the mat. And you can use this to help find length. Take one more round of breath here. And then maybe you stay here. Maybe you try more by bending your knee, taking your strap to the sole of your right foot and using your strap to help you find more length here in your right leg. Now notice if your right and left get mixed up. Notice if your left knee is already starting to come off the mat, then invite a bend into that left knee. Plant your left foot down on the mat so that your low back can be centered here. And you might find that gives you more room with your right leg to extend it a little bit straighter. Listen to the back of your right leg and bring a gentle bend into that right knee at any point in time. Breathing here. Thinking about extending out through your limbs, maybe flexing your right toes towards your shin. Notice what that does to sensation in the back of your right leg. Take an inhale here. Full exhale here. And slowly start to release that work. Take both legs out long. Pause here for a moment. Notice the blood flowing back towards that right sole of your foot, all along the right leg. And then we're going to come to the second side. So you can choose to keep your strap handy, your scarf handy. And we'll just start to draw that left knee in towards your chest. And maybe at this particular time, you don't need to bend that right knee. Just listening to the messages your body is telling you, maybe finding some movement, rocking that left knee from side to side, rolling that left ankle. You could always grab the back of your left thigh instead. And then we'll start to extend long through that left leg. And give yourself a little bit of grace here. So if you feel yourself struggling, if this feels like a lot, you can always go to grab for your strap, swing that around the back of your left thigh, and use that so that you can find some release across the front of your body into your shoulders. Think about sending your leg up toward the ceiling, keeping a gentle or generous bend in that left knee since we're early to start, and just send your breath to the back of your left leg. Take that left thumb to your left hip crease, kind of iron it out, make sure that your hips are level and you're not hiking up that left hip. Keep it in line with your right. Take one more inhale here. Full exhale here. And then we'll slowly release that work. And then we'll take the scarf or the strap to the sole of your left foot so that you can find some softness across the front of the body, across the shoulders, and just at your pace, move slowly to start to straighten through that left leg. And maybe this side is different. Notice if you're starting to lean over away from midline and draw that left ankle in alignment with your left knee, in alignment with your left hip. Breathe here. Maybe flex your left toes towards your shin. Notice what that does. Maybe take that strap to the ball of your left foot. Notice what that does. And then we'll slowly release that work, setting the strap off to the side and letting both legs be long here. Take a deep inhale through your nose and exhale it out through your mouth. We're going to flip over like a pancake one more time. So you might bend your knees here, pick up your low back, and start to roll over. So making this transition as slow as you need it. And then we'll bring the hands to frame the chest, and on an inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up through hands and knees. And from here, we're going to tuck the toes and send the hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog. Now this is our first downward facing dog, so you might find some movement here. You might bend one knee and then the other. You might nod the head yes, you might shake the head no. And then press into your palms so that you can send your seat even higher up toward the sky. Soften through your shoulders and bring a gentle micro bend into both elbows and knees. Let your head be heavy here, so you might even shift your gaze to the space between your toes or your knees. And imagine a connection between the crown of your head and the ground below you, almost like a magnetic, energetic draw. Breathing here, and you might let your breath move through your body like a wave. So as you inhale, maybe your spine shifts forward, and as you exhale, maybe you soften back towards your legs. Just letting your crown of your head reach towards the ground here. Take one more inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, come onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and walk your feet up to meet your hands, finding your forward fold. And you might separate your feet a little bit further apart here, and you might grab opposite elbows, or maybe take your hands to the crown of your head, just bringing your awareness to that top part of your scalp, the energetic center of your crown chakra. And we'll slowly release the hands down to the mat. On an inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale to fold. Now from here, we're going to plant the hands down and step back to your plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale to lower your right forearm down and then to lower your left forearm down. And if that is a tricky way for you to transition, you can always lower all the way down or come to hands and knees so that you can then lower your elbows down. And you might measure it out here, grabbing opposite elbows and then bringing your hands out into that number 11 shape. We'll tuck the toes and send the hips up. If you were in your plank pose, you can just transition to send your hips up. And we're gonna come to a dolphin pose here, our forearm downward facing dog. And again, bringing your awareness to the crown of your head, feeling that gravitational pull of your head to the earth below you, that connection. Take an inhale here, full exhale here. Knowing that you can take a break at any point in time if you need to. Keep pressing into both forearms, draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then on an inhale, we'll sweep that right leg up and back behind you. Notice if you're starting to open up through that right hip and dial it down in line with your left, drawing circles here in one direction or the other with your ankle. And then we'll lower that right leg down. On an inhale, sweep that left leg up and back behind you, drawing circles here in one direction and then the other. Keeping hips level, sending energy out through your palms, through your head, through that left foot. And then bring that left foot down. And then we'll lower the knees down and come to a child's pose. Bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Your knees can be as far apart as you'd like to. If you've got any shoulder tension, start to draw your hands long down by your side. Take an inhale here. Full exhale here. Inviting a sense of softening into the back of your neck, into your shoulders, into your scalp. And now we're gonna lift up out of our child's pose and we're gonna grab a block or a pillow. And you can grab a stack of pillows or a stack of towels even, so you can go ahead and push pause to grab those items. And we're gonna use this to help bring the mat closer to us. So you'll place your pillow or your stack of towels or your block in front of you on your mat. And then we'll bring our hands, you might push it a little bit forward, and we'll bring our hands down to the mat, wrists underneath shoulders, and your knees in line with your hip points. And now from here, we're gonna think about a cat pose and drawing our navel in, knitting our lower ribs in, engaging through the core here, and starting to round through the spine so that the crown of the head is reaching down towards the ground below you. So you might even be tucking your chin in a little bit here, but you're drawing your nose towards your head. Sorry, you're drawing your nose towards your thighs. So you can stay here, just breathing here, allowing your neck to kind of relax as you draw your nose towards your legs in this rounding position. And then we'll slowly release that. We're lifting the gaze up, lifting the tail up. We'll do that kind of intense cat pose again. And start to draw the navel in, engaging through that core work of drawing in the lower belly, drawing in the ribs, rounding through the upper back to kind of broaden across the upper back on the back side, and then start to draw your nose towards your legs. So you're creating this rounding arch shape. Now you can choose to stay here, or you can bring your pillow or your stack of towels a little bit closer. Find that rounding again. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees, sink your head so that the crown of your head starts to make contact with the pillow or the stack of towels or the block in front of you. Keep rounding here. Maybe this is plenty. We're gonna stop here, this kind of modified rabbit pose, just to bring awareness to the crown chakra. Taking one more round of breath here. And then if you're ready for more, keep rounding in Keep drawing your crown towards the ground, and maybe your hands find your feet as you round in even more. Breathing here, knowing that you can release this pose at any time. And we'll slowly release any clasp you might have. Lift your head off the mat, sink your seat down towards your heels. Move that pillow off to the side. And you can start to stack your shoulders over your hips. And just notice the sensations here on the crown of your head. The pressure of making contact with something, and then releasing that pressure. Perhaps you feel a sense of expansion from the scalp, from that crown chakra. Maybe placing your hands on your heart, just notice your heartbeat in your chest. And then notice the sounds in the room that you're practicing in, the temperature of your practice space. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and exhale it out through your mouth. Good. From here, we're going to start to walk the hands forward and find a downward facing dog just to transition. On an inhale, come onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and walk your feet up to meet your hands, finding a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale to fold. Slowly roll up to stand, stacking one vertebrae at a time. Let your arms be heavy, let your head be heavy. If you're feeling lightheaded at all, tuck your chin in at the top, like you're making a double chin. On an inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, soften them down by your sides. And now we'll work with tree pose. So moving slowly, when you're ready, I'm going to turn and face you. We're going to bring the weight of the body into that left leg. And we'll bring the right toes as a kickstand, or you can bring the right toes to your inner calf on the left leg, or you can help that right foot up to your inner thigh on your left leg. Just don't stop at your knee, and we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart center. Now fix your gaze on a point that's not going to move on the wall or the floor in front of you. And now imagine a system of roots coming down through the left sole of your foot, grounding and rooting you here. Imagine that system of roots spreading down through the layers of earth below you, anchoring you here and connecting you to all of the nutrients that you need, connecting you to that vital earth energy and holding space for you here. Coming back to that intention for our practice, I am connected to the universe around me. In this tree pose, imagine that like a tree, your system of roots expands out and connects to other systems of roots, from other people doing their tree poses to the trees in your yard or your neighbor's yard. Take one more inhale here. Full exhale here. And then we'll slowly release that work, bringing the right sole of your foot down to the mat, shaking out that left leg, rolling out your shoulders, and then we'll come to the second side. So you'll bring the weight of your body into that right leg. Your left toes will be a kickstand. Maybe you bring them to your inner right calf, or maybe you help them up to your inner right thigh. We'll bring the hands together in front of the heart center again, a gesture of acknowledgement of that vital life energy that resides within you. And imagining that energy travel down through your body, down through that standing leg, connecting you to the ground and the earth below you. Remembering that system of roots is in your right sole of your foot as well, connecting you, spreading out, reaching out and making connections to the other root systems. Now from that rooting energy, start to draw that up from the earth, from your root system, up through your standing leg, through your spine, through your face, all the way up through the crown of your head. And imagine a system of branches spreading out from the crown of your head, reaching up. If it feels right to you, maybe you even open your arms out opening out to acknowledge that energy, that vital force, that the chakra of your crown. We'll bring the hands back together in front of the heart center. Take an inhale here. Full exhale here. And then we'll slowly release the pose, bringing that left foot down. Shake out that right leg. Roll out your shoulders. Maybe move your head here from side to side. And then we'll turn back to face the top edge of your mat. On an inhale, sweep your hands up toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Long spine, reaching the crown of your head forward. Exhale to fold, reaching the crown of your head down. Plant your hands down. Step back to your plank pose. Take an inhale here in your plank pose. Exhale to lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck the toes to the tops of the feet. Press down into your mat. Inhale, lift up. Cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up through hands and knees. Tuck your toes and send your hips up and back, finding your downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of a deep breath here in your downward facing dog. After your 3rd round, or whenever you're ready, we're going to meet back in a child's pose. And once you arrive in your child's pose, we'll all bring the arms long down by your sides, softening through the shoulders, breathing here. And then we'll slowly lift up, taking your time to find a long-legged seated position. So we'll take both legs out long, and on an inhale, reach your hands up toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward any amount. Notice if you're reaching or grasping for your toes or your feet, maybe back away at the ankles. And if you're reaching really hard for your ankles, maybe back away to the shins. Allowing your head to be heavy here. Taking one more inhale. And a full exhale. Flexing your toes towards your shins. Start to walk your hands back up your legs. On an inhale, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, soften them down by your sides. Bring your hands to your mat. Keep flexing your toes towards your shins. Lengthen up through your spine. Imagining your spine as a staff here. And then you might turn your gaze over towards the right. Come back through center. Turn your gaze over towards the left. Come back through center. And then release that work to come back down, to lay down onto your back here. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale it out through your mouth. Hands wherever you'd like as we round our practice out with a little bit of rest, a shavasana, to truly come into stillness. You might release your arms down by your sides. You can close your eyes down, or you can soften your gaze to a point on the wall above you, or the ceiling above you. And just notice that energy that you've built up from your practice. Feel your heartbeat in your chest. Notice if in this pose now, the same pose that we started our practice off in, you feel a little bit different, or maybe you feel the same. You might walk your shoulder blades down your back here. You might even open your palms up toward the ceiling. And a gesture of expansion so that you can receive from the universe and the energy around you. And scan the body, noticing if there are any last bits of work that are still being done, and letting go of that work, giving into the support of the ground below you. Soften through the muscles of your face. Unfurrow your brows. Just start to notice how your body is feeling in this moment. So maybe you scan the body for work and for sensation. Building up a picture of how your body is right now. Scanning up through the feet, the legs, the seat, the torso, the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the head and the neck. Maybe imagining a softening around your body. So that barrier that holds your energy in is a little softer. And now you can receive energy from the space around you. So taking stock of your surroundings, maybe notice the temperature in the room. Notice the lighting in the room that you're in, the space that you're practicing in. Notice any sounds in your current practice space. And start to notice and listen for sounds and activity and movement outside of your practice space. It's raining here today, so I can hear the sound of the raindrops falling on different surfaces. You might be able to hear the wind, people moving around, maybe cars passing. Thinking about expanding your scope of awareness as far out as your senses allow, your hearing and your sensing allow. Not holding on to anything that you observe, just noticing. And then slowly start to draw your awareness back in. Let go of the focus on the space outside of your practice room. And bring it back into your practice space, back to the feeling of the air on your skin. The sounds that are more immediate. And drawing it back in even more, back to your body. Back to your breath. Moving in and out. As you inhale, feeling your chest and belly expand and fill up with air. Now as you exhale, noticing things soften down. Staying with your breath here. Just remembering this power of connection. As we breathe here for 2 to 5 more rounds of breath. You can choose to stay here for as long as you need to. Otherwise, if you're ready, you can start to take gentle movements to wiggle your fingers and toes, roll ankles and wrists, move the head from side to side. If you feel called to stretch in any direction, you can. You can bring your hands to your body, bringing all of the energy that your open palms received to yourself. The gesture of acknowledging that connection between you and the universe around you. We'll seal out our practice with one last chant. We'll chant the sound Om, the sound of the universe together. You can choose to chant in your head or you can choose to chant aloud. But we'll start by taking a deep cleansing breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then inhaling to chant. Om.
Noticing the sensations in your body after chanting, absence of sound in the silence. Knowing that you can stay with your eyes closed, resting here for as long as you need to. If you're ready, you can slowly blink open your eyes. And this is where I will leave you resting with this knowledge of your connection to the universe around you. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. The light within me honors and bows to the light within each one of you. Thank you again. Take care. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice and joining me for all of the other parts of our chakra series. It means so much to have your support. If you enjoyed this practice, let me know by giving me a thumbs up or leaving a comment in the comment section for me below. And if there's any other series that you'd like to work on, poses that you'd like to work on, let me know in the comment section below and I'll get started on those special videos for you. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and I will see you next time. Take care.